Using proper CGI, I have de-aged, as you can see.
The CGI known as shaving.
No, I didn't shave. It's CGI. It's graphic design, dude.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got my
We both know
pink
you're
eye.
not smart enough for that. Anyways, everybody, welcome in to episode 2 of the Frights and Farts podcast. Today, we will be speaking on the brand new Halloween Kills, the second movie in the new Halloween Reboot trilogy. Today, I am joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend, the Rebel Dottie.
Well, don't amp me up too hard there, buddy. There's not much mythos surrounding me. I'm pretty out there, man. I'm in the face, dude. But what's up, man?
Nothing much. Just got done watching the movie.
Yeah, you said you watched it 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You finished it 20 minutes ago.
I watched it I finished it like 10 minutes ago.
Well, that means you get to do the breakdown again, because that's way fresher
fair.
than me, man.
I took notes because I figured I would have to.
Yeah,
it was an interesting movie. Not as bad as people thought it was, but I'm not like raving over it like I am with Fear Street.
Wait, who said it was bad?
I've just heard the critic reviews, and there were some people that I've talked to said it wasn't the greatest.
Man. Okay.
Damn critics.
Yeah, like they're ever right, you know.
Right.
Very rarely are they correct.
I'm gonna pull a guy from that one podcast we were talking about to start texting.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Wait, what are you doing to him?
Apparently, this podcast is a Drew Scheid fan club because we have covered 2 movies with him in it.
Drew Scheid? Who's that? Which one's that? Oh, that's the dude with the goofy curly hair, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's in this movie for about 5 seconds in a flashback, but yes.
Well, no, you also see his corpse.
Does that count?
I mean, it's him, probably.
Well, it's not him. It's a lookalike made out of plastic or whatever the fuck they do. But
you never know. Maybe he just really wanted to be involved. But
I thought it was pretty good and everything he's been in. He's pretty funny looking.
He's gotten some. He's been pretty funny. He's gotten some gnarly kills. Obviously, he wasn't funny in this movie because
he was funny in the first one, 2018. He was. Funny. Yeah, Oscar. His name is Oscar.
Yep. That is his name.
Okay.
Anyways,
the breakdown of the film.
Let's get right into the recap of this movie. All right, so this comes directly after the 2018 Halloween, which is supposed to be like the Halloween franchise is all sorts of messy, but basically it goes 1978 Halloween, 2018 Halloween, then this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. They've retconned everything in between.
Right. Although there are some references to the other ones in
there's
the movie.
Easter eggs, yeah.
Yeah, there's little things that some that I caught. I don't know as much about Halloween as Dottie does, so it's a little bit he might have caught some that I didn't. We'll get to that in a little bit. So basically, how the movie starts is with Cameron, Allison's boyfriend from the first one, where they like just kind of broke up at a dance. There was like a Halloween dance. He's walking home from that. He calls Oscar, who is currently impaled on a fence post. And
he's busy right now, dude.
Yeah, he can't pick up the phone quite this second. But anyways, he stumbles on Officer Hawkins, who has been stabbed in the neck by the what's his face? What's the doctor?
Fake ass Loomis.
Yeah, fake Dr. Loomis Sartain.
Fake ass Loomis. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're just gonna call him fake ass Loomis
sure, we'll call him fake ass Loomis. Anyways, he's not in this movie. The doctor isn't for very long. He's briefly mentioned. But anyways, he's found bleeding out on the side of the road, and he finds him, and he's kind of like revived. A little suspicious. I'm not entirely sure how he was revived because it seemed like Sartain did a good job double tapping him, but that's okay. Anyways,
it don't hurt that he came back. He's a good character.
Yeah, and then Hawkins says this thing about how he needs to kill him, like he didn't before. And we get a little flashback to 1978 where we find the cops chasing down Myers. And at one point,
The 70s, I just want to cut it. The 70s flashbacks are amazing. Like
the 70s flashbacks are well done.
They did them even better than Fear Street Part 2 did. They look like the same kind of camera quality and everything. The hair is perfect. Nobody looks pretty. It all just looks like 70s shit.
It does.
I love that. Off the bat, at first I was like, this is kind of a weird thing to do, to recreate the scenes, and they're gonna fuck it up. That's what I was saying in my mind, is they're gonna fuck this up. But they didn't, not once. The 70s flashbacks might be like one of the best parts of the whole movie.
It's an interesting take. But anyways, so we get a little flashback of the cops chasing him down. At one point, a kid like falls and Michael is right there and he looks like he's about to kill him. Which we know Michael shows no mercy for anybody, because in the 2018 version, he kills a kid, of what appears to be a similar age. And then, Michael disappears when the cops show up. And they chase him into his old house, where they find him standing at his sister's window, who he is. The thing is that he's killed his sister. If you don't know that, then
then what are you doing listening to this podcast? To be totally honest, if you haven't seen or know about the original Halloween, go do that. That's
what this will be on Spotify and YouTube at a later date. You can watch this later.
Yeah, for real. Just take an hour and a half to watch one of the greatest horror movies ever made, starring, in my opinion, the greatest final girl ever, Jamie Lee Curtis. So go watch that shit.
Anyways, so I don't remember if it's the sheriff or what, but he goes with Hawkins, who is like a rookie on the force. They go to the Myers house. They find him staring out the window, and Mike kind of beats down on the sheriff, and he gets him in this chokehold. And then Hawkins comes in, and he's like has his gun, telling him to stop. And he shoots the cop in the neck, and Michael kind of runs away, and he kind of takes some shots at him, and he misses.
That was, I think that's why it hit him in the neck too. He was trying to shoot Michael to stop him from choking him to death.
Is probably one of the poorest shots I've ever seen on the force.
Well, I think he's supposed to be like brand new. He looks like a kid. The person they picked up.
Oh yeah, no, he looked like he was 15. Yeah,
yeah, like his hair was messy and everything. He looked like he was green as fuck.
Yeah, he's definitely, but I mean, like, you gotta land one of those shots. Like it's
also, but it's true to a 70s movie, dude. They miss shots in all of those, even Star Wars. They just missing shots everywhere. It's perfect. It wouldn't make any sense if he was a crack shot.
I mean, he was walking down the stairs. I think he had a good shot at him. Anyways,
I guess that's true, but they stayed true to their 70s fucking.
That's fair. That's fair.
Thing there.
Anyways, the cop, Mike walks out into the front lawn, and all the cops are there, and they capture him, and that's when we cut to the title card.
Which is always awesome in these reboots. The first, obviously, there's two of them, but they do the exact kind of like structure of the first movie.
Yeah, with like the pumpkins.
With also the title card. You don't see title cards in movies anymore. They're outdated. You don't see them in TV shows that much anymore, not dramatic ones. So, like, to see them do that was awesome. To keep doing that, keep that going, and it'll be in Halloween Ends. You can guarantee that. Right.
It was a little interesting in the Halloweens of years past. The jack-o'-lantern kind of makes like a silhouette of Michael holding a knife. Yeah. Not even close on this one. They just did not do that. But all the pumpkins are on fire. Fire is a big thing in this movie, apparently. It's like freaking Beavis decided to direct this movie.
Maybe you're onto something there.
Fire.
I didn't
think fire.
I maybe the fire is symbolism for the town burning. Like,
it's interesting.
Metaphorically, it is burning. Michael is destroying this town.
Yeah, which we see
in the movie.
There was a big representation of that later on in the movie, which was one of my least favorite. I mean, it wasn't a bad scene by any means. It affected me, made me feel emotions. Anyways, so then we cut to this like bar talent show where there's this it's like a talent show. I thought it was karaoke at the beginning, but they say it's a talent show. Anyways, this guy tells a story about the 1978 killings. And he's one of the kids that Laurie Strode was babysitting. And then there's three other people there who were also survivors of the of the 1978 massacre, so to speak.
Well, Tommy, the one you're talking about, is a pretty big role in the first one. He is the baby. He's the kid that Jamie Lee Curtis is babysitting throughout the first movie. He gets bullied and shit by Lonnie in the first one, which is a continuity issue with this movie. The movie's not perfect by any means. But for some reason they made Lonnie was the kid who fell in front of Michael at the beginning. Yeah, Lonnie was a huge dick to Tommy. And
Lonnie was getting bullied at some point.
Which we're going to see those three kids again. There's no reason. I thought we'd see them in this movie. The shitters, the fucking children of the corn looking motherfuckers. I thought we'd see them in this movie, but we didn't. So they're definitely saving them for Halloween Ends. I think Halloween Ends might have multiple bad guys, which could be really good.
That would be interesting. Because there was a little flashback at the end, the reason. Well, I guess I don't want to spoil.
Well, we'll get it. I mean, we're gonna run through. We'll keep running through this, and we'll get to it.
Yeah. So and then he tells this story, and then we cut to these fire trucks. We cut to Laurie, Karen, and Allison in the back of a truck where they left off at the last movie. And the fire trucks are going towards Laurie's house, where they have trapped Michael and set the place on fire. So. We know how that's gonna go. So the fire trucks get there. One of the guys falls through the floor, and Michael somehow escapes the fire, and then he kills all these firefighters who don't know how to use their equipment in the slightest bit. It's like they haven't even been taught self-defense. Guy has a goddamn circular saw, and he doesn't kill Michael.
Wait, what? Firefighters aren't supposed to be taught self-defense. They're supposed to be taught how to help people. What are you talking about?
Man. Learn how to swing an axe, all right?
But they're not. They've never been trained for that.
They've probably been trained in
at least to break down a door. But I mean, I
mean, there's always they've definitely been. I mean, I don't know. My dad used to be a firefighter, and his best friend is an arson investigator, which is kind of a firefighter. But I'm pretty sure they're taught some sort of self-defense in case the arsonist or somebody who set the fire is there and is dangerous.
Do you think your dad can beat up Michael Myers though?
Oh, no one can beat up Michael Myers.
Not even your dad, dude. I hope he doesn't listen to this, dude. He's gonna be embarrassed.
No, we were talking about this. He came halfway when I was watching this movie, and he was like, I mean, this guy can't be shot by guns. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
I can't beat Michael Myers either. It's okay. None of us can beat Michael Myers.
Right.
Maybe collectively, all the viewers and contributors to this podcast can beat Michael Myers. Maybe.
Well, Laurie Strode and Busta Rhymes are the only confirmed people that can beat him.
It's true. We're no Busta Rhymes.
No, we don't know Kung Fu for some reason. But
we need to get Busta Rhymes on the podcast.
I would love that, but I wouldn't want to talk shit on him because he's also a master rapper. He's amazing. I mean, his music career was fantastic. So
the ultimate multi-threat.
Keep going. Sorry.
Anyways, Michael kills all these firefighters. It's a pretty cool scene.
It's really shot. It's shot really well.
Yeah, it is
cool as fuck. The reflections in the firefighters' masks, showing how scary he really is.
Just wish there's a point where he comes down on the guy with the circular saw. I know that's not what it's actually called, but I don't know.
Yeah, but we know what you're talking about.
But and we get some blood splatter. I would like to see this movie doesn't really pull punches for gore, so it's weird that they chose to then.
Really? Wait, you mean pull punch? I'm sorry, I heard that wrong. You're right. It's a very gory movie. For a second I got fucking lizard brain activated, and no, you're right. I thought it was decently gory though. Scene. I mean,
there's blood splatters.
You wanted a blood fountain.
I want a head tilting off halfway off the neck or some shit.
Well, we get shit like that later in the movie. So you are right. I mean,
yeah. Just maybe they want to ease people into it a little bit. Don't just want to get somebody in the audience just be fucking head chopped off.
Take this.
Have fun with that, bitch.
We hate you.
Yeah. We don't want you to eat ever again.
But anyways, they were on their way to the hospital after that, right?
Yeah, they go to the hospital. Then they're Karen has this weird little episode while Laurie's in surgery.
Weird that her husband just died that night.
Yeah,
that's why she's having an episode.
I think.
No, that is why.
I have some takes. About this whole. No, they mentioned her husband dying twice. It seems like they don't give a shit in the slightest bit.
It's happening the same night.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Bring it up yet? Hey, like, wouldn't it suck if so? Hey, Garen, your fucking husband died like 2 hours ago. How you feeling? Like, no, dude. She's got way more shit to take care of at that moment. Her mom and her daughter. So it's actually really cool of them to give her that breakdown scene, because a lot of movies would just brush past that.
That's true.
Be like, keep rolling the film. Nobody wants to see this. Show more Michael. But they actually did get a little bit more insight to the characters.
Yeah, they did a good job with the main characters as far as story goes. And then
Tommy.
What?
And Tommy. Tommy had a lot in this movie, which I was surprised that Tommy was so involved.
Yeah.
Which I don't think was the best, but
he was played well.
Oh yeah, well it's fucking Anthony Michael Hall, like a legendary actor.
Right.
I mean, it would have been impossible. Farmer Ted. The fucking John Hughes, #1 man. Like,
I don't think John Hughes directed this. Oddly enough.
No, but isn't he dead? Isn't John Hughes dead?
I don't know.
Oh God.
Really hope not. That would be. Anyways, smooth transition.
Yeah, he's dead.
All right. Well, that's he made some great movies. So
yeah, fucking.
We will not be covering any of his movies because we are a horror podcast.
We might.
Did he do a horror movie?
No, but we might. Dutch. This is considered Dutch a horror movie. It's at least a thriller to some extent.
All right.
You haven't seen Dutch?
No.
It's a hockey movie. Are you serious?
What?
It's kind of like a hockey movie. Sort of. It's fucking Ed O'Neill, dude. It's a fucking great movie. It's like the only Thanksgiving movie. Is there any fucking hockey in that movie? What am I talking about? Why do I remember something about hockey? Yeah. He's literally holding a hockey stick in the picture.
John Hughes. Are you sure? How is it spelled?
Dutch. Like.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Ed O'Neill. Okay.
Yeah, watch that movie. It's pretty good. Just watch it sometime. It's pretty funny, like family comedy. That's a Thanksgiving film that everyone slept on.
Yeah, it's got 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not.
Well, what about from the audience? The real percentage?
I don't know.
Keep going about the movie. I'm gonna make sure the audience recognizes this great movie.
Yeah, I guess he's
a fucking 62%, dude. A 62%. The reason the critics didn't like it is because he was really brutal to that kid. They like for a John Hughes movie, he was like a shithead. He was mean as fuck to the kid. Yeah, and it's what makes it good. Like, it's different. And,
Dottie loves beating kids.
I'm not a proprietor for child abuse, but like, it worked.
Sometimes people deserve it. All right, there are some really annoying kids.
The kid was a dickhead. Okay, John Hughes recognizes dickhead kids.
He seems like a little bit of a dick.
Okay.
We're just going all over the place here.
Well, we were talking about Karen is grieving. Laurie Strode is like fucking dying. She's not really dying. She's just
she has surgery. They say she's fine. And then Michael sneaks into this old couple's house, and this old lady is flying a drone because why not? It's really kind of a goofy scene, but before he shows up, and then he they hear a noise. She flies the drone into the room that he's in. He like crushes it and throws it back. The old man goes and investigates, and he sees him, and he turns on the light, and Michael just does this badass, like he punches the lights out. It's really badass.
I think the goofy scene is there to show that like people aren't. That's reminding us that everyone outside of Laurie and her daughter and granddaughter.
Yeah, you don't have just because you're innocent doesn't mean you're.
Well, they don't. No one in the town knows that Michael's back. That's what I think. That's what they're showing us with that scene is like everyone. It's like the normal day life of these people, and they're goofing, having fun. They're a super nice couple. They're a great couple. That's why they put the scene to make you feel a little bit for these guys because, like you were just about to say, Michael holds nothing back.
Oh yeah. So he punches through the glass door, drags the old man out. I didn't catch what happened to the old man, like how he got he got stabbed by something in the neck, like probably like glass or something. I'm not entirely.
It was that light he broke.
No, that was the lady.
He stabbed her in the neck with that.
Yes. So then the old man's kind of incapacitated, something like that. Basically, he goes to the lady. She like has this like wall of knives. It's really weird. She pulls it out.
Magnetic knife holder. My mom used to have one of those.
But like all her knives are like ridiculously big. It's like she has like 70 butcher knives.
She likes to cook.
Yes. anyways, they have this little fluorescent like tube light. Michael grabs that, breaks it in half, and stabs it right through her neck. And that doesn't kill her quite yet. So he I don't remember if she crawls or he lays her there, but she's just sitting kind of down by where they're in the kitchen area. And he drags the old man over, who's also not dead, and decides to test all of these knives to see which one is his favorite, and stabs him in the back 7 times while she's watching. It is brutal.
That's the nice part. The way they kick this off is another thing is they're showing Michael is still a child. He's just having fun with that dead guy. He's just, like you said, just stabbing him over and over again because he likes to.
Right.
He likes to watch people in pain. He likes to kill people. He likes to look at dead people. He just loves that shit. He plays with dead people. Remember this. Michael is not just some fun icon. The dude is fucked up. He's about as fucked up as they come. I feel like a large chunk of those movies after the first one forget to remind you that he's a piece of shit. He's a vile monster.
He's got some showmanship as well.
Oh yeah. Are you kidding?
Fucking hunk. He displays his corpses better than any serial killer.
Which is another big part of this franchise that a lot of these sequels forgot about. He plays with dead bodies.
Yeah. They seem to do a pretty good job in this one.
I think they did even more in this one than the last one, which was fun.
Yeah, they definitely did well. And then at that point, at the bar, we cut back to the bar. The news is kind of showing that Michael has gone on a spree. They haven't said anything, I don't think, about the firefighter killing and the old couple yet. They just talk about the ones that we see in the first movie, and all the survivors kind of riled up by that.
Evil dies tonight.
Yeah. And they there's this couple there who decide to leave because one of the people who got there's this kid that lives across from them, and his babysitter died. So they want to go back.
Julian.
Yeah.
Julian, who's the biggest bright spot in the first one. And they better bring his ass back for the next one because he was hilarious.
As long as he doesn't die.
Well, that would suck, right? I think they could bring him back in the next one in a safe way. Maybe he could be like a content creator or something. He's a kid, so he'd be good at it. He's good at talking. He's a Gen Z or a Zoomer.
Luminary Toast. How you doing?
What's up, Luminary? Keep going though.
Right. And so they decide to go back, but they see the girl goes to the car, and there's someone in there, and they think it's Michael. And they get everybody from the bar, and they come out, and the guy drives off in their car and crashes it. And we see that and we've seen this on the news just a few moments ago, that it is another mental patient that escaped from the crash that happened in the 2018 movie. And he plays a little bit of a role in this movie. He's interesting.
Can I say though, because I feel like I've been talking this movie up a lot, that whole scene was a little weird. At first you think it's Michael, and he the dude, they fucking bang on the car with the baseball bat, and he changes the radio station to a classic rock station or something, and then floors it. And then there's this really weird shot, in my opinion, where they're all checking the car, and you see this mental patient dude, and he's looking back there like this, and it was just it felt really weird. I was like, is this gonna be a shitty B movie? At that point, I was like, is this gonna be a shitty B movie? And that's what they're going for, because the guy's acting was a little weird at that point.
Yeah, it was an interesting scene. I feel like they could have clearly seen that it wasn't Michael.
That too. How tinted were that guy's windows? I know in Arizona you're not allowed to have tinted windows.
Yeah, I could see through the windows in the quick shot that I saw that it wasn't Michael.
Oh, but they don't know what Michael looks like without a mask. That's what it is. Why don't they?
Because every time somebody unmasks him, he just kills them.
He didn't have his mask on at the mental asylum. In the first one, at the beginning,
remember, those were the podcasters who we are less shitty than.
But was nobody ever allowed to see a picture of him? Does he not have a mugshot? He's technically a criminal. I think it's a little stupid, actually, now that we're talking about it. Why? Oh, you know what? They do show his face on the television set, too. It just blurs it. They show Michael's face, but it blurs it out, so we don't see it.
It's just a secret for the audience. Okay.
So it is. The whole thing is kind of stupid. I think it's a good movie.
They're proud. They're the problems.
That is
a
stupid scene.
We'll get to the reviews at our thoughts on the movie.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, old crazy man fucking sprints off. He hobbles away.
Well, yeah, sprints is
it's more of a hobble.
He's no Usain Bolt.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He painfully, like, it hurt me to watch him walk away, but
he's an O lineman at best, or Tom Brady.
Oh Lord. Okay, and then we encounter this gay couple who I wasn't sure if they were an actual couple or if they were just kind of friends, but they're at their house, which we learn is the old Myers house, and then there's these kids who come and prank them and steal their candy, and they tell them this creepy story about how Michael will come for them. And
I do want to say one thing about them. I love the casting choice for them because that is Michael McDonald from classic Mad TV, hilarious actor. Everybody loves him. He was also in Leprechaun 2. I think it was the second one or 3.
Which one is he?
He's Little John. And then Big John is the guy from
the actual littler one. Right. Yeah. He's from the Mick. That's what I remembered him from.
Yes. He's in a bunch of shit, but he's not hit that fucking part yet in his career where his name is memorable and his face
right. He's just in stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to hit a break here soon. He's great. And I love the casting choice for them. They play that shit awesome.
Also, the guy who played Little John was in Community. So there's a fun fact. Yeah, he was one of the superintendents of the school district. I'm pretty sure.
I believe it. That dude was one of the funniest people on Mad TV, along with Key and Peele.
Yeah, he was funny in Community too.
Yeah,
we could actually cover a Community episode or two on there. They've done some good Halloween ones.
Oh, there's plenty. There's also Brooklyn Nine-Nine's Halloween Heist.
There's
plenty of shit we could do.
We got plenty of TV Halloween content. So I thought they were going to die at that point, but no, they just run away, and we just cut back to the hospital where the cops are questioning the Strodes about what happened, and they kind of finally acknowledged verbally that their dad died, and this was the only moment in after this point there is one mention of it at the end of the movie, and that's about it.
Well, aren't the Strode okay? But the granddaughter, she does break down to Lonnie and Cameron in the truck.
Oh yeah, no, she.
But
it's mostly Karen.
Karen though is a fucking hard ass. We learned that pretty quick in this movie. She's pretty badass, dude. She was trained on a commune by Lori until CPS took her away because Lori was training her to be essentially a final girl and a badass. So she's probably got a pretty thick, steely crust around her heart cavity, bro. She's got some walls to break down. So that might be why she doesn't have to talk about it as much.
It's fair. I just wanted to make a joke about it, but you just
make the joke. I'm going to do it.
Joke's done. Anyways, I'll just keep saying anyways.
Just do more jokes, dude.
Great with transitions. So then Cameron, who is Allison's ex, comes to the hospital to get her to try and kill Mike, kind of to see if she's okay, and then he kind of recruits her, and she just doesn't give a shit.
That's because it's Lonnie's son. Cameron turns out to be Lonnie's son.
Right. They've interacted once since Cameron cheated on her.
Well, that happened only a few hours before that.
Yeah,
remember, and then all on the same night.
Yeah. And then she just completely shrugged it off like nothing happened, which was another thing that I thought was a little weird.
I mean, he was, but if you think about it, in Halloween 2018, he just kissed that girl. He was a huge dick, but I don't think she was ready to take him back.
Yeah, but then he threw her phone in the grody ass nacho cheese.
Yeah, that wasn't cool either. He was a real asshole. He was a real dick, but at the same time, I don't think she's sitting there thinking oh, I don't care if he dies. I don't give a shit. I've been with this dude for a few years. I don't care if he goes and gets himself killed by Michael Myers. I think she still does care about him to some extent, Yeah,
I guess there's no real show of love between them, rekindling. No. So I guess you're right. You're right.
I liked Cameron in this one. I thought.
Yeah, no, I didn't think he was as nearly as big of an asshole. I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, I think they wanted to let the actor live the character a little bit rather than being a one note high school jock dickhead.
Right. Just
and that was cool.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave him a little life.
Anyways, God damn it. I'm going to try not to say anyways next time. So Cameron kind of recruits her because they're making like this vigilante crew to go and kill Michael. But Karen comes out and she's like, no, you got to stay with your grandmother. He's going to come here. You're just going to get yourself killed. And then all this, like, you got to stay here. So they go out and they go on this like kind of like recruiting montage. And then there's a group of the two survivors from the first movie, Lindsay and Marion, and the couple from the bar. And they're driving, trying to get everybody inside or recruit them. And they find this group of kids there. It's the same kids who pranked the couple before and stole their candy. And they like kind of mess with them, saying they're playing hide and seek with this guy in a white mask.
They basically break down Michael Myers' whole shtick as a joke.
Yeah.
They're like, some dude's playing peekaboo with a white mask on. He keeps looking at us. And it's funny because they're shitheads, but it's also like pretty fucking scary. Like,
right. And then, because then we cut and because they show Michael by the car, because only Lindsay went to talk to the kids and tell them, because they're on a playground, only went to talk to them. The other three stayed in the car. And so we cut to Michael and we see he's holding, there was the third kid's head. He's holding the kid's head in like a skull mask. And it was like, oh shit. And then we get this kind of cool another little homage scene this one's to the first one though, where he tries to kill Marion in the similar way that he did in the first one, where he punches the glass and tries to like drag her through. And then the female, the girlfriend escapes kind of with the gun.
Well, yeah, they argue for a second because the husband's like, they hand the husband a gun and his girlfriend or wife or whatever goes, why does he get the gun? I got more training with it. So he hands her the gun because that is important, because now the husband is in the car with no weapon after she leaves.
And so Michael stabs Marion. I hope I'm getting the name.
It don't matter. Right. He stabs one of the old ladies.
Yeah, he stabs her. And then the one guy, after he stabbed her like 6 times and she's clearly dead, he decides to finally take action and choke her with the stethoscope from his doctor costume. And it clearly fails. Michael's like, are you fucking kidding me? And he just stabs him. And then the wife finally comes back and puts her expert training to use and doesn't land a single shot on Michael, who then slams the door open at her while she's too close and causes her to shoot herself in the mouth and kill her.
Which I saw some people, read some people talking shit about that scene. Like, why did she take the gun? I don't think that was at all important. I think the whole fact was that she was always like kind of standing up for herself. And I think she was wearing the pants in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think either of them had any training with a gun. So when the people say, because I've seen some people be like, why would she want the gun if she doesn't know how to shoot it? They both don't know how to shoot it. Like, straight up. It's also like a fucking
they were going to die anyways.
Yeah, the thing was like a fucking hand cannon, bro. Like, you probably can't, like, not you, Blue, but the people talking about that probably can't shoot that thing. Like,
I probably can't either.
But I'm not going to say that because, I'm not going to talk shit on my boy. But no, I hated that. I saw people being like, why'd they do that? They're real people. They're real people. Like, they're not fucking badasses like Lori.
It's not like Fear Street where everybody's a goddamn sniper with a gun.
For real.
So all 3 of them die, and then he chases after Lindsay, who was the one in the park. And she kind of hides behind a tree, and he walks away. I thought he was gonna like jump out from the tree and kill her, but no. And then we cut back to
the hospital.
Yeah, and Lori finally wakes up, and they tell him that she still thinks that Michael is dead, and Karen doesn't want to tell her otherwise, in attempts of freaking her out, which we will see was the right choice. When she finally does tell her. So they
roll Hawkins' old ass in there, right?
Yeah, then they roll in Hawkins, Actually, before that, the main group of vigilantes, which is Lonnie, Tommy, Cameron, and Allison, come across their bodies, and which is one of my favorite little homages.
Oh yeah.
The couple are laid out on one of those little spinny things, and Marion is like hung from the swings, and they're all wearing the 3 different Season of the Witch masks. Yeah, which I thought was a cool homage to the only one of the only good Halloween sequels.
I don't know about good, but comparing it to the other sequels, it is good. But comparing it to any other horror movie, it's still pretty cheesy and stupid. But
yeah, no, it's
props for trying something different.
Yeah, I like the homage though. It's cool. I don't know where he got the masks.
That was something that confused me as well, because like, how many kids has that fool killed tonight? Like at least 6. If that's the score right now.
Right. Well, I mean, the skull mask he got from the one kid that he already killed. It's just the pumpkin and the witch.
They weren't wearing that shit. Yeah,
right.
So like he at least was going around killing other kids.
Yeah,
presumably.
Which I mean, wouldn't be a surprise. You know, he's Michael Myers. Right. And then we get to so they find them, and then Hawkins is wheeled in, and then they kind of bond. Laurie kind of and him kind of talk. She's talking to herself for a little bit, but then Hawkins finally wakes up. They bond for a little bit over their experience in the first time, and then we get this. Then Tommy starts to like kind of rile up the mob in the hospital waiting room, which leads to when the mental escapee kind of gets there. They all think he's Michael because Tommy just is like, "Oh, that's Michael." Because all of a sudden he's talking.
No, Tommy didn't. Somebody relayed that. Tommy didn't see him. Somebody
right. Somebody said. Somebody, yeah, he just overhears it and he just yells it because, you know.
Telephone game. Not even that. It's just the dude was scared. Everyone in this town is freaking out, by the way, at this moment. Right. Everyone is scared as shit. So they see one person that looks irregular, and then they remember the news story from earlier. Because, again, they're real people. And they saw those 2 faces, that guy and Michael Myers. So the guy gets scared, says, Michael's here. Up. Yeah, and then Tommy is like, for some reason, the fucking Pope of fire and destruction. And he's like, everyone get him. And yeah, then they fucking track. That's what you're talking about, isn't it? Because this shit is sad. It's so sad.
And then, they, the guy kind of runs away. Laurie, who is now up because, you know, she's a badass.
She took adrenaline from Hawkins.
Which, needles. Needles. So then they go on this like big chase, and Laurie and Karen are kind of trying to yell at everybody that that's not Michael. They kind of get a glimpse of him, and because he's this short, fat man,
not wearing a mask at all. Like he's just looks like a dude.
It's not how masks work, guys. Like it doesn't stretch the guy out.
And why? And at the same time, why would Michael ask anyone for help? He's never spoken in any of the movies.
And why would he not just start killing people? Like,
that's not him. He's not like, all right, I give up.
It's just mob mentality, people being stupid. Anyways, they go on this big chase. And then we cut back to the old, Michael's old house where the gay couple is like just watching TV, and he sneaks in, gets a gnarly kill on Big John, stabs him through the armpit, and like gouges his eyes out.
I fucking hate the armpit
stab.
I've never seen that in a fucking movie before. No one has seen that in a movie. And as you're watching it, you're like, oh yeah, that would suck. That would suck so much.
Because it's so tender right here. It's like
I've never thought of that. And then you bring it up, dude. I know we're talking about the movie, but don't bring that shit up. That shit was weird.
Anyways, because Dottie's a little bitch, baby. We're gonna.
Am I a bitch?
So Little John comes in, finds him, and then he finds Michael standing, looking out his sister's window. Kind of says, "So you've come home," instead of running away like a rational person. Decides to have a banter with this psychopathic killer, and they.
That shit is kind of weird.
Yeah, he kills him off screen.
Maybe he knew he was fucked, and his husband's
probably
dead. you know
what didn't help Big John was that he took a freaking charcuterie knife, took the world's smallest knife.
Look at this fucking Ramsey wannabe right now. Charcuterie knife.
What
are you going to cut some cheese? Like, what, he fucking doesn't know, dude. And they were cutting cheese earlier in the scene, so
that's the point. That's why he grabs it. Okay. It's still so funny that he grabs a little knife and then the other guy has the sense to go to the kitchen and grab a reasonably sized knife.
Again, they're people. They're people. Not everybody's going to be readily available to fight a fucking monster.
It's fair,
which is refreshing. It is refreshing.
The world's smallest knife. It's made to cut through cheese, not... I'm not even sure if you'd have to really try to get that to break some skin. But yeah, it was still a gnarly scene. But then we cut back to the hospital where everybody's chasing him and Karen finds him hiding and she kind of comforts him and for some reason decides to just lock him somewhere.
What else is she going to do?
Stay by him. And then people are going to get to them and she's going to be standing by him and she's going to be like, no, this isn't him. Like that's what I would do as a rational person. There's no danger. Like, and she kind of like, when they get to the door, she doesn't really even like, she yells at them, but like, she isn't like doing this, like stop. She kind of lets them get to the door. Like, I understand like they're going mob, but I feel like you could talk some sense into them if you played that a little bit better. Anyway, she locks him between these two doors. They break through the glass, which is supposed to have like wire in it. So I'm a little skeptical on that. Like it's supposed to be like the bulletproof glass. And then they break through.
The only person in the universe that knows that, by the way.
That's
I don't know how hospital glass works. I didn't know that.
It's just the look of the glass. Like it's the glass we have at like schools. Like we have those at our school. Like they're supposed to be bulletproof.
I didn't know that about hospitals.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would fucking matter. Like it's a hospital. There shouldn't be an issue like that.
No.
But
America.
Yeah, you're right.
Not to get political.
People shoot people in America. That's not political.
It's fair.
I think the blue and the red both agree. Yeah, people shoot people here.
Like, people get dive from guns. So they smash through the glass. This mental patient, not knowing what to do, grabs a fire hydrant, smashes through the window, and one of the saddest scenes that in this movie, maybe in a horror movie that I've seen, it is really sad. Like, because he has a child brain in the way that Michael does, but without the absolute killy psychotic.
It's the contrast. It's
the exact opposite. Is like what you think a child is actually like.
They give a moment to like actual mental patients saying like, hey, remember that like not everybody is a fucking psychopath. This guy he was there maybe because he was hurting himself. He's not actually a bad guy.
And when Karen finds him, he's reluctant to kind of go with her. He's scared. He's a scared dude. And he decides he's just going to jump out the window and kill himself because he doesn't want to be torn apart by the mob.
Which Tommy does see him in the window. There's a quick shot where Tommy sees him and he's like, oh fuck. And he wants to stop everybody, but he can't.
Yeah, he does. Like him and Karen have a moment of like, I fucked up. And she's like, yep, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You done fucked up, Ron. Yeah, it's really sad. He jumps out and then we see this gnarly, just looks like somebody spilled bloody oatmeal on the ground under his corpse and his like arm is separated. It's really sad. I wish they wouldn't have showed that because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it kind of detracts from the moment, but I don't know.
Maybe they did it because if one thing in this movie is all the kills are good, like really good.
Right, keep up that.
Yeah, they don't want to just show like him falling and then nothing. And then they say, or they just like above like talking heads like, oh fuck, he's dead. I think they want to show it because they've showed everything else. So
yeah, maybe kind of heighten the impact of the moment, memorize it a little bit more.
No cheap kills.
Then everybody in the mob kind of is like, oh my god, we've really messed up here. We're terrible people. This is what Michael has done to us. We're like they have a minute of remorse. And then we get to Lonnie, who's figured out where Michael is going, and he has Cameron and Allison with him, and he goes in to the door. He goes in alone because he doesn't want them to get hurt. He also, like, they played this game when they were younger, him and Tommy and those guys, where they would like go in, see if they could go into the house, and he said he would. It's a little bit of a callback to that. Anyways, he fires a gun. The kids decide to go in, and they kind of search around, and Michael jump scares Cameron and like beats him, and it is just like Cameron sees his dad like stuffed in like the attic hatch thing, and he has like a minute of remorse, and that's when Michael jumps on him, and they just have this brutal fight, and Michael just kicks the absolute living crap out of him. Cameron never stood a chance.
It was an amazing fight.
Yeah, and then the way it ends, he smashes his head through the banister.
And then fucking breaks his neck like 16 times. He just keeps grabbing and pulling and pushing his body and just smacking him.
He keeps like stabbing him on like the remnants of the banister. And then he finally breaks his neck while he's staring right at Allison. And then she kind of tells him to come at him, and they have a good fight. He's about to kill her, and then Karen busts through and stabs him in the back with the pitchfork, which is a little callback to earlier where when the couple who lived there thought they were being pranked when Michael originally broke in, and they said they were going to kill him with the pitchfork. Yeah, just a little cool thing that I noticed. But yeah, she stabs him in the back with the pitchfork. Then she takes the mask off, which resurrects him, which really pisses him off, and he's like, I'm getting up now, and like she kind of taunts him so he doesn't kill Allison, and then he chases her through the neighborhood with the background of like the original Halloween, like I don't even know what that is, but like you know what I'm talking about, like the original Halloween chase music, they play in Dead by Daylight.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And so which turns out to be a trap where the vigilante is there, and there's
like 50 people there.
Oh yeah, they beat him. Only 2 of them have guns, which doesn't bode well. And the one guy who has a gun, they're beating him, and he decides to get as close as possible so Michael can still stab him while shooting him. But then they beat him. He's down. They tell Karen to like walk away, tend to Allison, but she picks up Michael's knife and stabs him in the back as like kind of like a fine finishing blow. And we cut back, and like Laurie's giving this speech about how Michael like isn't. It's like this weird little speech about how like I don't remember if it was like Michael doesn't die or like Michael's more than just.
I think it was Hawkins was giving the majority of that speech, wasn't he?
No, it was Laurie. It was pretty much Laurie the entire time.
Hawkins is the one who breaks down the line, the most important line in this movie, where he says, Michael gets stronger the more he kills, and he is unstoppable now because he's killed so much. He basically, he is supernatural. We learn at this point he is supernatural. He's not a man. He's a fucking monster, supernatural being that becomes stronger the more he takes life. So it's like a cat's 9 lives times a 50.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he's like a video game character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And so he gets back up, pulls the knife out of his back, and just starts killing them all. Granted, they're pretty stupid in their approach to it. Like the guys with the guns decide they have to get as close as possible. And he stabs Tommy at the end, who has a baseball bat, who also decides he needs to get ridiculously close to him. Just real, stupid decision making by the mob.
Cool shots in that scene, though.
Like you think he's dead.
Yeah, they're like pretty close up when he's killing all of them, and it looks really awesome.
It's bad. It's shot badass. It's just a little unfortunate because the decisions they make are so stupid.
Yeah, like the town people are not. They're not Laurie Strode.
Right.
That's the end of it. Like,
and then
the only smart one.
He kills them, and Karen back at the Myers house sees this like girl figure.
No, that's Michael Myers as a child, isn't it? The clown? Doesn't she see?
Yeah, the clown. Okay, so I couldn't tell really. I was like, what the hell is that? So she sees that in the reflection of the sister's window. So she walks up there and gets stabbed like a bunch by Mike, and we see her like her face, and that's pretty much where it ends.
That is the ending. Now that actually brings me into one of my first notes. Let's just like transition right here. Is Karen dead?
Smooth transition. I don't know. So this is the thing that I thought. I says to myself, you know, she doesn't look very dead. She looks like she's kind of moving.
She was putting her hand up. She was walking swings. So
yeah, she was trained. We've talked about that. She's been trained by her mother. So there's a very real possibility that she's not dead. Personally, I think she is. But I would not be at all surprised or upset to know that she isn't.
Can I lay down a bold prediction?
Yes.
Okay, so that we don't see her outright die. And we know, I don't know if you know this, but they've already confirmed that Halloween Ends is going to take like, I think they said like a 4-year time jump. So we're going to be like Laurie.
Oh, okay. Healed. That's interesting.
I think it was 4 years. It's multiple years. I know that.
I can look it up really quick.
And, well, that's just what they're saying right now. I don't think it might be written. They're filming it next year. So if not filming it already, so it is written. But so Laurie will be fully healed. Allison will be fully healed. I think what they're going to do is do one of those, you know, movie magic scenes where at the beginning of Halloween Kills, we see where Laurie is. We see where Allison is. Like probably still in Haddonfield, because we know now. That's another thing we forgot to mention. We know now that Michael doesn't give a shit about Laurie. It was never about Laurie. It was about going home. He's only ever cared about being in his home. And that's his will in everything. He just wants to be at the window. He's a fucking maniac.
The scheduled release for Halloween Ends is October 14th, 2022.
So it will be a 4-year jump because they're trying to bring it up because there's going to be stuff about COVID too. They've already mentioned that. Everything has got COVID in it. So there's no reason to get riled up. Not you, Blue, but anybody. There's no reason to get upset. Everything's got COVID in it now. And
which is a little upsetting, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll see how they handle it.
Problem is, it's a horror movie. Is it really that necessary to mention COVID? Like, this is what people. It will be far enough removed that I don't think it'll be a big deal.
Well,
like it's not like the shows that were going on like during 2020 and 2021 that mentioned COVID while people were living in like quarantine.
Well, he's a home invader. That's usually how he gets his kills, is invading people's homes. And with COVID, more people are home, even today.
Right.
So it'll be easier for him to get kills, I think, is what they're saying.
So what we're saying is he took a nice break in 2020 to respect the COVID guidelines.
He's gonna just kill from 6 feet apart. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he's just getting a long stick with a knife and just start jabbing at people. He's been wearing a mask since he won't have a problem wearing a mask.
He's been prepping for this his whole life. But I think they're going to show Laurie and Allison what they're doing now, and then I think there's going to be like a 15-minute window. Then all of a sudden, Karen's going to come home with groceries or something, and then I don't think she's dead. I think that the movie wants you to think she's dead, but I think near the beginning of the next one, we will either that or it's going to be like a huge driving force for Laurie to still keep hunting Michael is because he killed her fucking daughter.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Is that's why I think she'll be dead.
She hates him no matter what, though. She wants him dead either way. They don't need to do that. That's why I think they could just like let Karen live. Like,
yeah.
But she was, what the fuck was that, by the way? Like, okay, like good movie.
Don't want to miss out on more Judy Greer.
But why? Yeah, Judy Greer is amazing. One of the great, like, oh my God. When she retires in 80 years, hopefully, she's going to be mentioned everywhere. She's amazing. But what the fuck was that though? Like, it's a good movie. Why the fuck did she go up to that window? I already know that like his house is dangerous. What the fuck is she doing? She's supposed to be a badass. She was cool the whole movie, and then she does the stupidest. It was stupid. Don't go to that window. I'm never going to go an episode without mentioning Fear Street. This is one of the reasons that I like that series more than traditional horror movies like Freddy, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween. There are bad, like, I can't really look at a decision made in that movie and be like, this was stupid. Whereas in these ones, I feel like they really just, a lot of the characters just make dumb decisions. Like, why the mob? There's 2 people with guns. Just light them up, why don't you? Or just keep beating him. Like, he's Michael Myers. Like, no one's going to blame you for it. Just chop his head off. Who lives?
Yeah, like do anything besides just standing there.
I'm sure even Superman wouldn't live through his head being chopped off. I mean, like it's not something you can do unless you're Deadpool.
Right.
But
even Thanos died because his head got chopped off. Did you not watch Avengers?
No. I watched the first one, Endgame. Is that it? Is it Infinity War? Which one was first?
Infinity War.
Okay, I watched that one and I was like, oh, cool. They're actually going to kill off all these people. But the way they did it, I was like, this is stupid. They're just going to bring them all back. And then I refused to watch the next one. I thought that legitimately there was going to be a killing spree and it would have been dope and like definitive deaths. And there wasn't. So I didn't like it. Sorry. I mean, don't fucking.
This is why we don't have a superhero podcast.
Yeah, I'm iffy on superhero movies. But either way, stupid move by the character. There's really no why she did that. There was no justifying why she.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job with the ending as far as making it realistic. It was a lot of just dumb choices by characters that
they clearly just need this movie to be a bridge. The next movie is going to be better. And this is a great
good movie.
This is the best. This is the sturdiest bridge you can get for a trilogy. This
is like the Golden Gate Bridge of trilogies.
Yeah, it's very San Franciscan in that way. Okay, here's another one.
Wait, I have a question first.
Okay.
How do you think they could include this movie into Dead by Daylight?
I mean, literally, let me jump down to the bottom of my notes. Hold on. Where'd I put it? Wait, I got it right here. Hold on. Obviously, Michael Myers is already part of DVD, but what new survivor could you pull from this film?
I mean,
I had the same thought as you did.
You got to put the mask in. Like, they've got to find some way to get this mask in there. That's badass.
Microtransaction. They could charge $20 for it, and people will buy it because
they'll make millions.
Yeah, no, they will. But they're too late though. They didn't capitalize on the hype. It should have done it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be too late. Maybe if they add it when the next one comes out,
they could. But I think Tommy would make an awesome survivor in Dead.
Tommy would be good. If we want to go basic, Allison would be very along the Dead by Daylight tracks.
Basic. Nobody looks like Tommy though. That's why, like, the closest thing is David King.
Well, he's like Tommy's kind of a combination of a David King and Bill.
Yeah, I really like Tommy's like character design and who he is.
Thank you, V. Thanks for popping in. Later.
But no. So you say Allison?
I do like Tommy, but I think Allison would be the one that they would do.
That's fair. I think the problem with this movie episode is like Mike's already in the game. Lori's already in the game. There's not much.
Maybe just add a skin for old Lori that
maybe
everyone's gonna be like.
Maybe it could look like Lori this time. Maybe
instead of just a generic white girl.
What is that shit, dude? No, I don't want to get into that, but it is stupid. She looks horrible in the game.
Yeah.
But
I had to get that in there. All right, your turn.
Okay, so I have here, how are the kills? We've already mentioned we both really like the kills. They're better in this one than the 2018, in my opinion. I think there's just more insanity with the kills in this one. It's brutal as fuck. But what's your favorite? What's your favorite or favorites?
My favorite. Why don't you say yours and I'm going to think?
Because I was going to take my vitamins, but I can wait.
Vitamins.
I'm a boomer, dude. You got to take vitamins, man. I don't want to end up looking like Michael. I mean, he's gross looking, dude.
But he got shot 7 times and he was fine.
No, I mean, I wouldn't mind if that's what vitamins are going to do. I'll have that body strength to take 7 shots and fucking stabs, but also won't look like a troll. So it's a win-win. I think my favorite kill, and this might be controversial because a lot of people that I've seen said like Cameron shouldn't have gone out like that. That seemed really fucked up to do to Cameron. Yes, it was. They fucked the boy up like real bad, but it was an awesome kill, dude. There were so many layers to that kill. He because at first you're like, when I was watching, he's just gonna throw him over the banister and he's gonna fucking break his neck and it's just gonna look awesome. Nope. He's like, fuck that shit and busts the banister with him and fucking grabs him and he's just like fucking toying with him because he's a baby man. And Allison just has to watch this dude is just being barely kept alive after hit and lethal hit. And it's just fucking brutal, dude.
It is.
And it was awesome.
It's gnarly.
I love
that one. That one's a great one. Jeez. If I were to, what would I think here? Because like there's a lot of my favorite, I guess my favorite kills weren't like an individual kill. Like that firefighter one, that was really well shot. Like the firefighter one and the mob one were just shot so well. Like they weren't the gnarliest. And that's why I feel a little bit lame being like, this is that one, but they were just shot so well. And it was so cool. It's kind of just to show that Michael doesn't care who you are. He'll kick the absolute piss out of like 20 people.
Yeah. No, the firefighter deaths were shot really well, and it's a great way to kick it off. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I do like how, I don't know if you noticed here, we can get into politics. Michael does prove that he does not see any issue with like gay relationships, because I don't know if you noticed, but Big John and Little John, he put them exactly how they were in the picture. He like let them die together, or at least be dead together, which is like, I think that's more the writers, which is Danny McBride. And we all know Danny McBride ain't no fucking, he's not a homophobe or anything. Like, he's a great dude. He's an amazing guy. So I imagine they put that in there as a way for him to show him toying with bodies, and maybe just a little nod at like, you know, he ain't.
Michael might love to kill people, but he cares about he cares about those gay rights, man.
I don't think I think it's more like he doesn't see it, and
he doesn't care.
Even like, a child can see you shouldn't care about that. Yeah, like, and we can both agree on that. I don't want to be political, but I'll be open in my stance that gay marriage is fine. Like, it's great.
But does this mean that Michael's racist? Because he was pretty rude to the way he killed that old man in front of his African American wife.
Well, I don't know. That's different. What? I mean, he's not showing up at a KKK rally and like sidestepping them to go to like a fucking somewhere else. Like, oh, I don't want to kill those guys. No, I don't think he's racist. Dude,
this is what Halloween Ends has to be. Halloween Ends. Michael Myers gets canceled.
Oh my god. Okay, so here's another note I have. Where does it fall in the long-running series? Because at this point, I don't know how many films there are. There's what, 11 or some shit? Like, there's so many Halloween movies. Where does this one fall for you?
I mean, this is. I will be honest. I haven't seen a few of them.
That's fine, but you can probably guesstimate how bad some of them are. You don't have to watch all of them. Some of them are shitty.
Season of the Witch is probably the best of the sequels.
No, it's not.
Really?
H2O. H2O is a fine film, my friend. Have you seen
H2O?
Right.
H2O.
Okay,
there it is. Yeah, H2O is good.
That was written. Does it say it was written by Kevin Williamson? I believe that one was written by Kevin Williamson.
Was
he a producer? I could check too.
Well, I'm right here. The mask looks so stupid, though.
That's fine. Yes, story by Kevin Williamson. Kevin Williamson is the same guy who brought us Scream. He wrote and produced all 4 Scream movies and the next one. And he also brought you I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, they brought on some talent to make H2O. And H2O is a fine film. I will argue that all day. It's a good movie.
All right. Okay, so I would say Halloween 2. That one's...
Yeah, it's forgettable. It honestly, and these movies forgot about it.
One's pretty mid. Whichever one with Busta Rhymes is first.
That's the best one. That outbeats the original.
That's probably actually the worst one.
No, dude. The one
Halloween Resurrection?
No, the one with fucking Paul Rudd and shit. That one's horrible. There's so many bad ones. Resurrection's bad, but it's like you're comparing apples to crap. I mean, this one's far and away better.
Crapples,
dude. This one's way better, in my opinion.
This is probably top 5. It's definitely top 5.
Yeah, it's like Halloween the original. Nothing's beating that. Nothing's going to beat that. And then 2018, I'd say, is probably second place.
I would agree.
And then H2O, and then I would have to put Kills.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
Yeah, it's that. That's how good it is. Like, it's not a perfect film by any means. You do feel a little dumber at some points watching it. You're like, okay, you know, why is Tommy obsessed with the bat? We don't even know why Tommy's just always got the bat. Like, is it to look like a preschool thug? Like, I don't know.
He had the option of guns, and he's like, I'll take my bat.
He does look cool when he grips it, though. He like puts it up, and he's like, and I'm like, I feel like he's gripping.
boy.
You know what I mean? Like you know, maybe you don't know what I mean. Nobody knows what I mean. But he's gripping the shit out of that thing, man. He looks badass, dude. He's gripping my heart, man. I like Tommy a lot. At first I was like, this guy's fucking dumb and stupid. And at the end of the movie, I was like, I kind of like Tommy. I had to sleep on it after a day, and I was like, Tommy's a fun character. He feels like a B movie character, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, he never had really like, obviously that part where they like, he kind of mob mentalities everybody and gets them to kill the mental patient is a little bad, but he shows remorse for it, and he isn't like just killing to kill. Like, he's not Michael.
No, he felt horrible for that.
Is this a call? See Martinez get out here.
Actually, Bad Blood would not be a bad person for this. He does love
this is true.
Halloween. Let's try to pull him in while I bring us to my next topic, which actually I think is my best note on here. If I may, you know, good job, bud. I think. Okay, so what I want to say was, can we compare this? What's that?
Bad Blood to join the link I sent him. All right.
Oh, okay. What I wanted to say is, can we compare this to other recent reboots? And I'm talking within the last 12 to 15 years.
This will have to be a more you thing. I've seen, because I haven't seen Friday or Nightmare. I've seen the other three though.
Okay, yeah. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Alien, Covenant, Prometheus, Child's Play 2020, Candyman 2021, or Evil Dead 2013.
Right.
In my opinion,
I think we can both agree what the best one is.
Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank God. In my opinion, I want to know what they're doing. I want to know how they're doing this. Is Danny McBride just like that good at writing? Is David Gordon Green just that good of a director? What is it? What is it? Because John Carpenter's barely involved in these. I think they just use his fucking music and remix it. That's it. I know he said he's given his praise. I mean, obviously they're going to talk to the man who created the slasher genre pretty much. Well, didn't create it, but refine it. But what are they doing that is making these movies just far and away better than Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street's trash, Prometheus, Covenant, Child's Play 2020 was not very good. It was super silly. And the thing is, Child's Play 2020 tried to do it right. They tried to incorporate like
Mark Hamill. Love that.
Well, yeah, and they also tried like all the stuff with the drones at the end and him taking over these new age toys and stuff. They tried to bring the future into it, but they fucked up. Like,
it was not great.
Yeah,
there was some. Mark Hamill was the only bright spot in that movie.
Yeah, although the Paperboy, I don't know if you've seen Atlanta, which is an amazing show and you should watch it. They're doing shit that nobody else is doing.
Right.
Paperboy was good in it too, but he's a good actor. So, and then Candyman 2021, which I liked, and we can cover.
I like that
too.
One.
I liked it.
I think that one would come in third. I think this ranks second.
What's Prometheus second? What's second?
Second would be this Halloween Kills.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2013 gets a bad rep because people think it's a remake. It is not a remake.
We're gonna bring Bad Blood in here really quick.
Bring him in, and I'm gonna keep going on this because we could jump into something new with him. Evil Dead 2013.
Look at all that Eagles shit.
Eagle Dead is a good movie. It's not a remake. It's a reboot. That's all I want to say. But yeah, I think Candyman, Evil Dead 2013, and the Halloween 2018 Halloween Kills are probably the only successful reboots that are actually good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everything else has just a litany of problems.
Right.
With Bad Blood, I have another question that we'll just jump right into.
I don't even know if he's here.
Are you there? B Blood? Yeah.
I see like Bad Blood.
Well, then I'll ask you, Blue. Was this better than 2018's Halloween? Why or why?
I think so.
Yeah, really? I don't think so. I actually prefer 2018's Halloween. I think this one kind of put a backseat to character development
and give me 5.
In churn for kills, which is great. I mean, it's in the name. The kills are infinitely better than 2018, but I think 2018 is a better film. Like, separating it from Michael Myers, I think the structure is way better and the character development's great, and the kills are still really good. The fucking scene in the bathroom in 2018 where he takes the teeth and puts them at the Stall. It's brutal. It's fucking Michael Myers. He's fucking weird, dude.
Hello.
Bad Blood. What's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up? I had to take a phone call. Sorry.
No, you're good. You know what? Should we just what are your thoughts on Halloween Kills, Bad Blood?
Man, I've seen a lot of shitty horror movies, man. I mean, a lot. I tell you what, man, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like, but a lot of stuff I did. It's definitely better than like 5 other Halloween movies. So,
hey, that's kind of where we ended up. Like we rated it Halloween, the first one, obviously is number 1.
Yeah.
And then 2018. And then
I got that too.
And then I think I said H2O and then Halloween Kills, and then that's where we ended it. I think H2O is a little better. I got a huge soft spot for H2O, guys. I love that movie.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm taking Halloween Kills over Resurrection, over Halloween 5 and 6, and Halloween and the Rob Zombie duology.
Oh, we haven't even talked about the Rob Zombie stuff, man. They're terrible. Like they are the 2 movies of Halloween. Like
I remember like when I first saw Halloween 2, I was like, man, Rob Zombie worked really hard in the shitty writing department. I remember like Lori walks in with her friends and she goes, this is what teens are supposed to sound like, by the way. She goes, what's up, dick lickers? It's like
that sounds like something I would say. And I'm a gross.
It's like it's so terrible. It's like there's nothing redeemable about those movies in any sense.
It's a good way to compare it because that was a reboot as well.
Yeah.
And like, what do you think? How did they do so well with this? Like, how were they so capable of rebooting this like nobody else has been able to?
Well, I think it's because that the people behind it they have respect to the original film. They weren't just trying to do their own thing. I still think that the best, like, out of the 80s and 70s horror movie remakes is probably the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and prequel. Just because that's like that's the least harmful, I would think. Man,
didn't even mention that in your question.
I didn't, because I totally forgot about. To be honest, I don't remember much about those movies. Aren't those the ones where is that the one where we find out the origin story for Bubba? Like he's escapes from the mental hospital, right? Like
no. That's Leatherface. That's the movie that came out like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the remake the one with the fucking dude from
Arlie Ernie? Yeah, it's Arlie Ernie.
Yeah. Full
he
Metal
plays the
Jacket.
sheriff. Yeah,
he's good in it. He's fucking.
He is good.
Amazing. He's
good in everything.
He might be the best character in the entire franchise, including the first movie, because he's so insanely maniacal.
I think it's called the Hewitt family, and I think the Sawyer boys in the original film were just way better executed in that, you know.
Well, and then let's be honest, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like the original, that's like one of the best movies ever made, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that movie's amazing. People talk about good sequels. That movie's funny as fuck, and it's just.
It is funny. I like the part with Dennis Hopper. I think he says something weird, like he's the Lord of the Harvest or something like that, and then he fights Leatherface with the chainsaw. Yeah,
dude. Like, dude, that movie's amazing. But anyways, Halloween.
Yeah,
you're right. I should have at least mentioned Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I fucked that up.
Disappointing.
Okay, here's a good question. What horror series deserves the reboot treatment that we haven't seen yet? Like a proper reboot,
I guess you know what? Should we have mentioned Saw in that talk too? Because they kind of
they haven't died yet. Saw is still going hella strong.
No. I mean, in the which one had the best reboot? Although was it even really a reboot?
No, it wasn't, because it was supposed to be and it ended up being an origin story. Are you talking about Spiral or Jigsaw? I feel like you're talking about Jigsaw.
Either one.
Spiral's a spinoff, and Jigsaw ended up being a prequel.
Yeah.
So they're confusing.
Sure.
What do you guys think? What horror movie series deserves a reboot? Like a proper one, like one that is really good.
How many of them? So many of them have gotten them already, though. I mean, I guess not good ones. But
if it's been a decade, you can count those. Or I'll even say 5 years, because we're getting to the point that this is setting a precedent for how you should treat a horror movie. How about any horror?
I mean, the thing is that I would say Scream, but it's already getting one.
Yeah,
that's not a reboot either. That's still a sequel.
It's a soft reboot, like kind of like Halloween 2018. It was a soft reboot.
Well, but then you guys saw Scream 4, where they totally dismiss all of that, and they actually openly admit it's not a reboot. That's the whole meta of Scream 4, is like it's not technically a reboot when everyone's still involved.
Yeah.
So like technically you can. They are bringing new people, but they continue to bring Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Nev Campbell along with them. So it can't ever be a reboot.
Yeah.
It's
this one had Laurie Strode in it too, but I don't know.
But Halloween's different because Scream has never stopped. Like they've never stopped to do shit outside of the main characters, whereas in Halloween did. Laurie Strode disappeared for 8 films or some shit. Or maybe like 3 films, came back for H2O and Resurrection, then disappeared again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's different. Scream is its own fucking thing.
I think I got my answer. It's kind of, I got 2 answers actually. Well, first one, I think it's more realistic, is like a modern take on the idea of Halloween 3.
Oh, Season of the Witch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like sort of like you know, I the idea of it's kind of cool, you know.
It is cool.
Especially people who don't like kids.
Poorly murdering children, you know, and robot people. Okay, that was weird, dude.
Like, it's just weird. And like the relationship thing, like with like the 50-year age gap.
Yeah.
What was the second one?
Probably Hellraiser, actually. I like the feel of the original film. Well, you have to get, I would have to, like, you know, I would have to get certain things in place for that film. Like, I would want certain people for it. I obviously would want, yeah.
That would have to be number 1. Like,
actually, man, this is tough.
I would say Pumpkinhead. I don't know if you guys have seen Pumpkinhead.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
I have not.
Watch it. I don't want to spoil it because you guys haven't seen it. Not that there's too much to spoil, but the monster in that movie is amazing. He kind of reminds me a little bit of the Leprechaun Origins monster, which that movie's dog shit. You know, I'm not saying anything, but check out that movie. Like, that's why it needs a reboot. People don't even know what Pumpkinhead is, but it's like a super scary movie, dude. It's old as fuck and super scary. And it fucked up. If you saw it as a kid, it fucked you up. That's all I'm saying. And they could do it again. They could fuck up more kids. Like, do it. Just fucking terrify people. That's what I want.
I mean, I have a bit of a more like out there kind of like. Would this be? I don't know if this would be my number 1 choice, but it's the best I could think of now. You guys seen Cooties?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say fucking.
I've heard of it. No. My friend told me about it, but I have not seen Cooties.
You guys haven't seen it?
No, I've seen Cooties with Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson.
That is really out there.
Guy from Saw
for like 5 years.
Yeah, Leigh Whannell. It's pretty good.
I thought the movie was really good.
It was very funny. They left it off on a little bit of a.
So you want more of a sequel? Possible. You want a sequel from that ending, or you want to restart it?
Yeah, well, no, they'll do a sequel.
They could do the Evil Dead 2 treatment, where they restart it, do the whole movie in 20 minutes, and then give us a new section where, you know, I don't want to spoil it because you should watch that Bad Blood. Cooties is pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see my Eagles posters.
We commented on them.
Yeah, that's the 04 Super Bowl crew, the one that lost to Pats.
I used to have my Pats blanket up back there, but I got a bunch of shit for it. So I replaced it with my nuclear girl. I have a Tom Brady poster right here, but you can't see it because Dottie's in the way.
Oh.
True. Slumber Party Massacre, that would be a cool one to reboot.
That one, but would there be an audience though? Would be people be clamoring for that?
Probably not, but
yeah,
I don't care about that. That's not the question. You didn't ask which one would be the most successful.
That's true. That's true. But you guys, let me ask you this: is Jamie Lee Curtis the Scream Queen? Has anyone ever done better? Like, is she the fucking greatest Scream Queen of all time?
I mean, she let a Scream go in 2018, and it was still amazing.
Yeah. Nev Campbell is pretty good, too.
She's up there, but, man, because people forget, like, Jamie Lee Curtis not only did Halloween, but you're also talking Prom Night,
she did
Fog.
She also did those yoga commercials.
Yeah,
those are pretty scary if you guys have seen them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're very weird. And I don't know quite what's going on. I feel like they're just telling me when I get older I'm gonna poop more or something. Like, it's just like I already poop a lot, dude. So like I don't need to know that. Jamie Lee Curtis. She's kind of a bitch.
Hold on.
Actually, you know what? I want to change I want a remake of
they SNL'd it.
You say you want a remake of Halloween?
Wait, Halloween. I didn't finish. Halloween Resurrection. You got the same cast and crew. The same hit premise. Oh yeah, that'd be good.
With Busta Rhymes.
Oh,
can we have Busta Rhymes be at the helm again?
How could you not? That's the thing is he wasn't even terrible in that movie though.
It's just his whole like character is terrible at its core.
He's just kung fu on Michael Myers
for no reason. He's just they're writing that character, they're doing the outline, they're like likes kung fu, like master of kung fu.
That reminds me of the what's it called? Have you seen the Lost World Jurassic Park 2 when the girl uses the karate on the gymnastics on the Velociraptor?
What a fucking change of just of movie in that 5 seconds where she straight up kicks you're talking about in the trailer where she kicks a fucking raptor over the bar, right? She like doesn't she slide into her window?
No.
She kicks it out.
No, it's actually in the movie. It's
no, I'm saying it's a change of just the movie's pretty good, but then you remember that scene and you're like, what the fuck were they even thinking there?
I don't know.
But that's like way more innocent than fucking Busta Rhymes being a kung fu master.
Yeah.
All right. You got any more questions? Any other pressing topics we want to discuss before the end?
I don't, but maybe Bad Blood has something he wants to say extra.
All right, if I man, it's just there's a lot of answers for that question, but I think my final one is probably a novel adaptation of Jurassic Park. That is
Halloween Kills.
It was pretty gory. It was pretty gory. That was cool.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more gorier, if not the goriest Halloween movie.
Definitely.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
I did not. The ending. See, the original ending. I heard that it was like Karen calls him on the phone, and calls Laurie, and then she gets killed presumably, and then you hear him breathing, and then she gives like a monologue.
Maybe they cut that for my theory. My theory is that Karen's not dead.
I see. That's why everyone thought about the sheriff too.
They pulled that off.
Yeah,
right? They show her. Okay, like you start to stack it together. Like they show her putting up her arms and elbows to block, like stab.
Yeah.
And then also Blue made a good point earlier that she was trained to fight Michael. So again, totally stupid scene for the character. She should have never, if they wanted to do something like that, they should have never done it that way. Like, why the fuck did she go to that window? It's stupid. Unless she really thought Michael was dead, which still, dude, give it 24 hours before you go to that fucking window.
And man, dude, the citizens of Haddonfield like turn into the Atlanta Falcons heavy. I don't know how they lost that. He was literally getting pummeled on the ground, and then she stabs him in the perfect place where he can just like,
decap, dude. Just decap. Always decapitate. If you're
always
worried they won't die, decapitate.
Yeah.
Who comes back from that? No one. No one has ever come back from a decapitation. Chop his fucking head off.
I'm pretty sure Freddy got his head chopped off in the dream world, and Freddy
it's a dream world. But like Freddy's also like beyond anything. He's the scariest fucking horror villain of all time. He's fuck Freddy in a sense. Like the only way to kill Freddy is to forget about him.
Well, that's the thing is that the original. I will get into that, but other things I really the flashback scenes were like really well shot, and like they had that kind of blue hint to them. I love that, especially when Loomis comes up, and it looked just like him, and they didn't use CGI or anything. I don't think they had the budget for that anyway. I thought it was Donald Pleasance too.
Yeah, I fucking blew my mind. I was like, I thought they were getting better deep fakes, but that's
and then they had that really nice shot, which is it mimics the shot of him as a kid when he's getting confronted by his parents coming home, and he's just standing, and there's all the police are looking at him, and Loomis is behind him. I love that shot so much.
Except we don't get to see that cute little kid, dude. That shit fucks me up in the original Halloween. That kid is adorable, dude. When they take the mask off, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When he kills him, because like that's one of the parts that makes Michael so fucked up is like when he did all that, he was your stereotypical cute little suburban kid, and then he just fucking realized he was evil,
right?
And but you're right. I'd just like to mention that like how great of a character Michael is, and you could keep rebooting him because the character's so well developed from the beginning.
Yeah. And oh man, Officer Hall, dude, that was like there was a lot of moments where I was like, oh, this is like getting in a scary movie senses of stupid. See, when you're holding someone hostage, you usually have like a weapon that you usually kill them instantly if they were to get close. All Officer Hawkins would have to do is just walk up to him and point the gun in his face because he's strangling him, which takes like a lot of time. He's strangling him with a rope, So all he had to do was just walk right up to him.
Yeah, this wasn't the most. We won't say weren't any plot holes. There weren't zero plot holes in this movie.
There was weird moments where it felt like a B movie, which I did not think it would.
Yeah. And then there was the political subtext about mob mentality and stuff like that. Yeah.
Which is accurate. I mean, scaring people does a lot, dude. You scare enough. I mean, like, look at the people with the toilet paper. They wrote the shit way before all that toilet paper crap went down, I believe. I think they wrote this like right after Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
So, like, it's very comparable to that with the toilet paper freak out.
Too. Like, I can't believe this movie was shot in 2018 and then all that stuff happened now. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. They had no intention of it being linked together. It just was a lucky coincidence.
Yeah.
We as a human race have proved that yes, scaring people turns them into idiots. Every one of them, except for Lori.
And on that high note, we're going to end this podcast here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live. Make sure you subscribe. We're available where all podcasts can be found. We are also on YouTube under Frights and Farts. Subscribe, follow, do whatever you want. Thank you guys for listening.